I am here just to share my thoughts with you about an article that I read in Madame Noir about conversations that I have had, about experiences that I have endured and suffered, along with too many of the sisterin. So here it goes. The article discusses women, Black women in particular. I know that we are not exclusive in this topic, but for all intents and purposes, the article discussed Black women trying to repair broken Black men. Now, I already gave you the beginning part. I know that it's not exclusive to Black women and Black men. That was what the article was about. So here we go. As a Black woman who has only dated Black men, not intentionally, but that's who I've dated, I recognize that with some of the relationships, I have found myself in the role of unintentional heart warmer, incubator, emotional soother, tear catcher. And for the longest time, I took it as a badge of honor. Like, okay, well, men take me, they feel safe, they allow themselves to be vulnerable, and that's a great place. Who doesn't want to feel safe? What it did, though, was place me in this position of being mama, which never led me to the position of being taken serious as a long-term girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? It was good for the moment, it was good for the night, and then maybe a few months, and then that's kind of like it. What I've noticed, and as I look at certain relationships, 3 come to mind. When you are, and that's not, I'm going to put this to the side, when you yourself are in disrepair, there's no way in hell that you're ever going to be able to repair another human being or even adequately assist another human being without your pieces or becoming further broken. So we have this issue with men where when they are broken, too many of them don't want to face the brokenness, don't want to deal with the brokenness, and definitely don't want to let you in. You see that as a sister, and it's like, oh, I can help him. I can rescue him. I can save him from himself. I can take his fears and his inhibitions and his frustrations and angers, and I can just let it all I can heal it all. I can fix it, put a Band-Aid on those issues that he has with his mother, with his father, with his children's mother, if there is one in the picture. I can do it. And we end up getting the short end of the stick. Many times, at least for me, and with too many sisters with which I've had conversation, and brothers that have done this, we end up being the ones that are left with their pieces as well as our pieces. So now you have fragments upon fragments, and that's a pile of mess. That is very challenging to piece together a pile of mess, right? So then we have these men that are so broken, they manipulate our care. My God, today. They see that we care too much. They see that we are blinded to who they truly are, or they see that we see it, but choose to not move away from their crazy and away from their manipulative ways. And so they allow themselves to continue to go along to get along, all the while leading us astray, keeping us distracted from doing what we need to do to get ourselves in better mental, emotional, physical shape, financial shape. Whatever it is that we need to be doing for ourselves, we kind of put it to the side or give it 85% instead of the full 120 that is necessary to achieve our personal goals. They see that. It's almost like men will say that they enjoy, or the stereotype is that men are supposed to be, or the assumption is that men are the rescuers, the heroes. They like to be that knight in shining armor. And then they'll come and see, oh, she's a safe place. She likes being a safe place. I'm going to allow her to be this safe place. Meanwhile, I am skimming from the top. Meanwhile, I'm not fully invested. Meanwhile, I'm not giving her all of me while she's giving me all of her. Meanwhile, it is a completely imbalanced relationship, and I know I'm not going to stay, and I don't care about the desecration that I leave behind, because I got mine. I got what it is that I needed. So when we have these situations, whether we are being manipulated, whether we are blindly, we are knowingly walking into the wolf's den, the lion's den, do we recognize a thing and politely, sweetly pivot and sin no more, walk the other way? How is it that we are able to turn into ourselves, recognize the Christ, the goddess that is within us, and are able to move away from the no good that they have proven that they have to offer? Now, this is not to all men, because I do know plenty of great men. I haven't had the experience of being with one as of yet. That has, time has proven otherwise, but I do know that they exist. I do know that honest men exist, that committed men exist. It seems to be, we get to, cream ain't the only thing that rises to the top. It seems like the jokers be the ones that rise to the top. When you have so many women who are frustrated, who are lonely, who just want that touch, who just want that look, who just want that person to answer the phone call, we will take, and I'm speaking for myself from personal experience, we will take what often is thrown at us. We will take the scraps of humanity just to not be alone. And that does not always have to do with a father not being present. That does not always have to do with a self-esteem issue. Being alone freaking sucks. And it gets old. And so you do settle. You make that choice to settle. Sometimes you feel like there is no choice but to settle because, well, there's nothing else out there. I am here to just kind of put a pin in that mentality. So we've recognized these manipulators for who they are, correct? We've recognized this brokenness for what it is. Whether or not he is manipulative or whether or not he is literally a great guy with a broken spirit, what we cannot continue to do as women is walk around acting as God Jr. Meanwhile, our pieces, our ish is not together. Meanwhile, our victories are succumbing, what our would-be victories are succumbing to our current choices, which is to put someone else's needs and desires before our own. That date needs to go and needs to be a thing of the past. Our way of thinking needs to shift immediately. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, but I am here to help you recognize. You possibly look at what it is that's going on in the relationship. Are you being strung along? Are you playing hero? And you need to be your own heroine. Are you playing savior? And you need to be the one taking care of and saving yourself. Are you crucifying your future for the present of someone's being who doesn't even have a plan for the two of y'all? We just need to recognize what it is that we are doing. We need to recognize where it is that we are trying to go, and how much does this person fit into what we see as our future endeavors. If they don't fit adequately, accurately, perhaps they're not the one with whom we need to be spending or thinking about spending forever with. These are just some thoughts. Broken can't fix broken. Shoot, healed can hardly fix broken. If I'm broken, there's really nothing that I can do. And if you are broken, two halves never make a whole as far as a relationship is concerned. I love the article because it specifically highlighted women who stayed with or invited men that they knew possibly did not need another chance, but they gave them another chance. And in all three of these scenarios, it cost these women their lives. Don't let someone else's downfall and you needing to be the rescue cat be the cause of your downfall. One life. What you doing with it? What's happening in your dash? We gotta bounce on that dash. We gotta dance under that dash, sit on that dash, straddle that dash. What we doing with that dash, beloved? I'm just here. I read the article and I thought about it and I said, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Hit me back. All right, holla.